The definition of a label is a word used to describe a person or group. Labels are a part of school, and we oftentimes apply them as easily as we breathe. Some labels serve to build us up, others to tear us down, and some so others can better understand us. There are the standard labels used to define the chain of command, like principal, teacher, and student. There are the labels used to define what our strengths are, like jock or computer geek. And the labels that reveal what we're not so good at, like loner or freak. And then there are the labels that convey our challenges, like autism or Asperger's. Regardless of what label you have, remember, it is merely a perception and not a direction. Therefore, don't let a label define your future. I have lived in Grand Ledge all my life, and I'm the fourth generation of my family to do so. My great-grandparents moved here in 1932, and my grandfather graduated from the high school at the time, Stoughton, in 1947. Generation later, in 1980, my mom graduated and received her diploma from Grand Ledge, and today, in keeping what has become tradition, I stand as the first in my generation to receive a diploma from Grand Ledge High School. School has not exactly been the easiest for me. I've had a few challenges right from the beginning. Some of the things that come natural to most kids were nothing but work for me. Understanding directions, handwriting, even how I interact with my classmates were frustrating and oftentimes scary for me. In kindergarten, I received a label called Asperger's syndrome, which is a form of autism. In grade school, I don't think they knew quite what to do with me. I went from Greenwood to Holbrook to Delta Center, and then back to what I will always remember as my home school, Holbrook. Holbrook is where I met Miss Harmon and Miss Spade. I was in the resource class where they helped me with reading, writing, and math. They were welcoming and always motivated me in a positive way. They talked about labels and pointed out that I didn't have a learning disability, but a learning difference. Other teachers who have made an impact on me were Mr. Seawick and Mrs. Winters. Mr. Seawick had a great sense of humor, was easy to talk to, and made school fun. And every kid's favorite teacher, Mrs. Winters, was one of the most patient, kind, and caring people I've ever known. Although my teachers were supportive, there were times when I would feel overwhelmed being around so many other kids. That's when the staff would give me special jobs to do. Not only did this give me a needed break, but it made me feel important and special. From Holbrook, I went on to Beagle. I noticed about every sixth grader finds the first day of school a little scary. But for someone like me, it goes way beyond that. Sixth grade orientation was confusing and overwhelming. For someone with Asperger's, going to new environments can be pretty terrifying. Predictability is important to being able to function, and Mr. Armstrong, the assistant principal, took the time to give me my own personally guided tour of the school in all of my classrooms. He also made a plan for me to meet him in front of the office the first day so he could walk with me to each of my classes. Because Mr. Armstrong took the time to invest in me, my fear of junior high school completely disappeared. At Beagle, Miss Bruda and Miss Effler, my resource room teachers, carried on where Miss Harmon and Miss Spade left off. They worked with me through middle school to increase my learning skills and bring me up to grade level. And finally, I made it to high school. My mom was afraid they'd eat me alive, but instead, I got to know Mr. Miller in the Leans program. Mr. Miller heads the Leans program at the high school. For those who are unfamiliar with the program, it connects kids with autism to general ed students who serve in an academic and social support capacity. Mr. Miller was not only my teacher, but my counselor and mentor for all 4 years of my high school career. We would talk about driving practice, making friends, advocating for myself, setting goals, and not allowing a label to get in the way of who I am or who I can be. Ms. Mullins and Ms. Claver and Ms. McCrum were the paraprofessionals that worked in the program. They encouraged me to be more open and outgoing and helped make Links a great program to be a part of. And then there are the Links students themselves. Links go above and beyond to make kids like me feel a part of everything, in school and out. When it comes to Links, there are no labels, just great friends who really care. Thank you for your time and friendship. You have made a huge difference in my life. You're awesome. I am blessed to have had teachers and friends who are not only concerned with my academic success, but also with my personal success. To me, that is the defining quality that changes the school into a community. My label defines me as a developmental disorder. Yet I stand before you, a high school graduate, a 7-year honor roll student, National Honor Society member, Taekwondo black belt, loyal friend, soon-to-be college student, and quite possibly the best employee any company ever hired, just in case you're looking. I am not a label, but I am an example of what time, determination, a whole lot of frustration, and hard work can amount to. I am the product of my family, my school, and my community. There is a saying, God gives us big dreams so we can outgrow them. The same holds true for the label we may be given. We can stay within its boundaries, or we can grow beyond them. We can be defined by our label, or we can choose to defy it. I chose to defy mine. What do you choose? Thank you.